Welcome, I'm Kinetic Symphony. This is Dave. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the supernatural. Case file number 1802, written by DarthRumbleBuns. The clock and the block, my buddy's gas station shock. I lost time and my buddy in a gas station. It was super weird and it freaked the clerk out too. We walked in and went to the bathroom. He left a log. I took a quick pee. Walked out and grabbed a soda and waited for my buddy to come out of the bathroom. After about 15 minutes, I sent him a text and wandered outside to see if he had slipped past me. He wasn't in the car, so I walked back in and asked the clerk if my buddy had left. He said no, so I went into the bathroom and he wasn't there. I walked through this tiny gas station looking for him for a solid 5 minutes, before he walked through the front door and asked me why the hell I was taking so long. The clerk snapped his head towards him and then looked at me, and we were both like, "What the hell are you talking about?" According to his phone, it had been 30 plus minutes since we had walked in. He walked into the bathroom, took about 5 minutes, walked out, bought a soda, wondered where I was, and walked out to the car to wait. He said he finally saw me walk out of the bathroom and slowly walk around the store. That was when he came back inside to give me some crap. The cashier had never seen him after he walked into the bathroom, but he had a receipt for his drink. I hadn't seen him even though this was like a 500 square foot gas station, and my buddy was confused because the cashier wasn't a girl, even though the cashier was the only one working that night. We straight up yelled at each other to cut the crap and admit to how we pulled off the prank, but neither of us capitulated. So freaking weird. Case notes file 1802, the clock and the block. My buddy's gas station shock. Your buddy was stuck in a different universe for a few minutes. As evidenced by the cashier, there was a girl in the other one and a guy in this one. Is it a universe squish, like I've been theorizing? I think if that is the case, everyone in the same geographic area would experience that squish. So I don't think it's that. I think it really was a transfer event. Now, he had a receipt. That's the key evidence. Would the receipt match the machine in this universe? The codes would likely be different. Try to pin down if it was a different universe just by looking at the receipts. Now, not anymore, but back then you could have done that. So no one played a prank on each other. It was simply the universe pranking you. And I can respect that. Case file number 1803, written by getmemyblade. From white bags to missing tags. This is pretty low stakes, but still bothers me and my mom to this day. When my house got the carpeting redone, every floor surface in the entire house was redone except for the basement. This meant we put a lot of stuff in the basement, including the contents of furniture like shelves and dressers. We put our clothes in garbage bags and put them in the basement until the carpet was done. It's important to mention we never put garbage bags in the basement for any reason, and we specifically knew that all the ones we put down there were filled with clothes. The people redoing the carpet didn't go into the basement and didn't know that stuff was done there. When we brought everything back upstairs, we realized one of the bags was missing. The bag with every single pair of my mom's underwear in it. Just that one bag, gone. We genuinely figured it would turn up in the next few days, then weeks, then months. But eventually the basement floor was redone as well, and we never found it. The obvious possibility is that it was thrown out. But we knew those bags specifically had clothes. We wouldn't have thrown anything away in a white garbage bag during this time, without checking to see if it was really garbage. We even had tags. The other option is, I suppose, that the carpet people went into the basement and stole only that bag, but they had no way to know we stored our clothes in garbage bags downstairs. And they never went into the basement as far as we knew. My mom ended up having to buy all new underwear. Literally years of built-up underwear collection, gone. Girls know how it is. You keep the old ones for situations. It sounds like just a simple mistake was made, but I can't emphasize how freaking bizarre the circumstances would have to be for someone to just throw it away or steal it. We still talk about it often. Case notes file 1803, from white bags to missing tags. I think this is a case where it's not a glitch, it is human beings being creepy as hell. The workers probably went downstairs when they weren't supposed to, one of them at least, saw the bag and the tag labeled underwear and said, "Oh, Jackpot. Never underestimate how creepy human beings can be. Seriously. Case file number 1804, written by Ravenamore. Our first meeting reflection revealing a historical connection. So, about a week after I started my first job in college, I had a guy come up to me at the smoking area and start chatting with me. I knew him from somewhere, I knew that. The problem is, and this happens to me a lot, is from where? I grew up in the military, and I've been everywhere. I went to a relatively large high school, and I just graduated from a relatively large state college. There were tons of possibilities. I was too embarrassed to tell him I didn't know where I knew him from, so I kept talking. Sure, he'd drop some kind of detail that would make me realize where I knew him from. 5 minutes in, and he looks at me and says, "You don't remember me, do you?" I felt so called out. "You're right, I know we've met before, but I can't remember where. I'm sorry. Where was it again?" He got this absolutely stunned look on his face. "Oh, crap, I was hoping you'd tell me." He'd recognized me standing there in the smoking area, couldn't remember where he knew me from, and struck up a conversation, waiting for me to drop a clue. Except I didn't, because I was doing the exact same thing. So we talked, trying to figure it out. He was 3 years older than me. We went to nearby high schools, except that he'd left to go to the Navy when I moved into the state. We knew some people from each other's school. One of the guys he'd played with was a sort of friend of mine in high school. I'd met a guy in college who'd gone to his junior high, stuff like that. Never at a time in our lives where we were in contact with the person at the same time. What got really creepy was discovering there was a point in our lives where we should have met, but didn't. When I was in kindergarten, I qualified for the district gifted program. I should have started the following year, but my dad had just gotten orders to move a few months after the school year started, so my parents decided to not place me then and just do it when we got to the new state. I would have met him because he was in 4th grade and started the program that year. I met his friends, and we all saw how we all had friends and acquaintances in common. But none of us had this guy in our lives at the same time, and there was no period we could have met up together. This was in 1998. We started dating in 2000. We got married in 2008. We've now been together nearly 25 years, have 2 kids, and still don't know when and where we met the first time, just a second. We have a guess as to where it could have happened. There was a game store that we both frequented about a year prior, and as he's one of those people that will just strike up conversations with strangers, that's where it could have happened, but it's only a guess. Case Ultra File 1804, our first meeting reflection, revealing a historical connection. This is the pull that people experience when they've known another person from a different play session, as people would say in the past, from a past life. Reincarnation and all that. Well, I think that's actually true, but not in the sense they think. It's not reincarnation where you die, you go into some black void, and then just reemerge randomly. I think you die, all copies of Quantum Immortality are exhausted, you wake up in the real world and select a new scenario to play. Maybe from different servers running. And you can select a different point in time as well, and so on. That is my guess. So yes, a past life where you made friends with this person could have been entirely different. Their character, their gender, their species could have been different. Who knows? Maybe we were aliens in a different life. That's plausible. That pull is something you can't explain. It's because you were meant for each other. Now, I don't believe in soulmate. I believe in soulmates, plural. I think there's multiple people that are well suited for you, and some that you never met in a past life. But I think if you met in a past life, it does give a boost if you really connected back there. Your souls mesh perfectly, or very well, at least. It is certainly one of the better stories you can have of how you met. Now, time for the joke of the day. What do The Sixth Sense and Titanic have in common? They both have an eerie, sinking feeling. Too soon? I think we're good. There was enough room on that door for both of them. Come on, Rose. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.